Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Cody. Today we will be going over the lore of Swain and how I believe him to be based on a real life person named Lucius Cornelius Sulla, a Roman dictator during the Roman Republic that was born in 138 BC and passed in 78 BC. We will begin this analysis with the empires, the Noxian Empire and the Roman Empire. At the time of Sulla, it was actually the Roman Republic. However, for simplicity's sake, if I say empire on accident, please forgive me. To begin with, there's patrician families in both. These are noble families that helped set up the empire and republic. They are inclusive empires that gain land through conquest, and much of their economy requires military expansion. They also are inclusive of those new nations, using them both militarily and economically, oftentimes offering them citizenship. The militaries of the two nations have a very similar resemblance as well. Both sport the color of red, crimson red. The Roman Republic was famous for its legions, highly disciplined soldiers that used sword and shield, sword known as the gladius, and also a pila, which was a javelin-type spear. The Noxians are often depicted in most of their artwork carrying a sword and shield or a shield and spear. They are also usually in highly disciplined formations. Both nations used auxiliary forces from the nations they've conquered. In Noxus, this is the form of war bands, and in Roman civilization, this is the auxiliary legions. Lastly, for the military, the Noxian artwork almost always has Noxian standards everywhere, flying from buildings with marching soldiers, etc. The Romans also held standards sacred, and they held a place in their army as well as draped over their buildings. Both the Noxian Empire and the Roman Republic and Roman Empire all shared some common entertainment as well. For example, the gladiator arena. Now for the fun part, comparing Swain and Lucius Cornelius Sulla. Both were patricians, and both became soldiers, as in they were members of a patrician family and transitioned into the soldiering life. Both Swain and Sulla kept company that would be frowned upon in their society. For example, Sulla kept company with actors and soldiers, which was considered crude and below his class. Additionally, he was friends with the king of Numidia. I'm probably going to mispronounce his name, but Bacchus. Swain, however, kept company with Draven. Through his quote when attacking him with Demon Eye, it reads something like, "I stuck with Draven when he was drunk and even when he stunk." This goes further with Swain saying Draven stood by his side at his lowest point, which was when his knee was shattered and arm severed. In contrast, Sulla had the support of Bacchus. Again, I may be mispronouncing this, and I apologize. He gained political support and won a victory in Libya. Due to his friendship with him, he turned over the fleeing Libyan king to Sulla, granting him the victory and fame. Swain and Sulla were both cunning tacticians. Swain would secure the western borders of the Noxian Empire with swift and brutal efficiency. Sulla would also secure the western borders of the Roman Republic. This would be done in Greece against a far, far superior numerically army led by Mithridates. Both men were extremely charismatic, and both believed that they should integrate the peoples of the nations they conquered or allied with to make the empire or republic stronger. Both men would surpass those leading the nation. In Sulla's case, this is Marius. In Swain's case, he would overthrow the empire in just a night and set up his triumvirate. The Sulla dictatorship would also have a close resemblance to Swain's triumvirate. For example, Sulla having all the power, there was still the Senate in Rome. And for Swain, he would have all the power, but it would be split between him and two other individuals. At least this is what the people would think. Swain knows he has control of Noxus. Now, for the most fun part of the comparison, their visuals. Both were old men. They both had a very scary facial expression that almost seemed to say, "You ain't seen what I seen, boy." They both had gray hair, and they achieved the pinnacle of their success in their old age, Swain conquering the Noxian Empire and Sulla becoming the dictator of the Republic. Both men were considered outcast. In Sulla's case, he kept company with those considered below him. He was also outcast by Marius, who he would overthrow to become the dictator of Rome. Swain, on the other hand, would be injured, having his knees shattered and arms severed. Then he would come back and plan in secret. Unleashing his plan, in a single night he would take over all of Noxus. This one may be a bit far-fetched, but Swain has a very thematic connection to ravens. The Romans had a connection to the eagle. Both were birds. Both are birds that are capable of attacking lesser creatures. This one may just be me speculating, as they are not the same bird, but I think it's a fun connection to make. Well, that's it, everyone. That's how I see Swain and Noxus related. Please comment below what you think and what I missed and what I mispronounced. Please leave a like or a dislike to let me know if you want more or less of this series or none at all. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful day.